Oh, no, actually, okay,
exactly
we're
what
saying
you're
not a
saying.
fan of how guys act. So you're
Yes.
saying, well, here, I'm traditional in all these ways. I want a guy I don't want a guy, at least this is what I understood. I feel like a lot of men in college probably want to just be like, come over, let's hook up.
Yes.
They don't want to do sort of and I think, but that is kind of how I think, especially in college, a lot of people maneuver. It's not like, let's go to a dinner date. It's what you doing later. Maybe it's even a social circle. You're hanging out in a friend group. Let's go party together. Come over. But it's never like, here, let me actually plan a date.
Right.
Let's meet up, get some food, anything like that.
Yeah, the commitment and effort is severely lacking. Also, I feel like a big part of it is that there's so many girls at the school, and a lot of girls are also into hookup culture. Yep. So I'm not, and I realize that a guy who would prefer that, it'd be much easier for them to just go for one of the girls who do accept that behavior than to try for me when I'm not giving in as easily.
Those aren't the guys you want anyways, though. So they're kind of just
I think
it out easier.
you're certainly spot on because
She absolutely is.
Because you're kind of put in a situation where if the standard that men have to meet is a lower threshold, a lower bar than what your standards are, than what your expectations are, then they're like, oh, well, I can go hook up with Becky.
Yeah.
And I don't have to put in the work, and we can just hook up quick.
Yes.
She'll hook up with me on the first,
Yeah.
immediately.
I think if all girls raise their standards a little bit, it will force the guys to have to change the way they act over changing which girl they pursue. Yeah. Advice
ding button,
for
Brian?
girls.
That is
Joe?
correct.
It's true.
Exactly.
It's true. So I guess what should women do then? What do the women
Raise their
have to do?
standards. Yes.
Close their
Okay.
legs.
You deserve it.
Yeah.
Do you have a response to her?
Not that specifically. I do disagree, but I don't really want to get into that. I want to respond to that.
You can get
first.
into it.
No, we should get into
Well,
it.
okay,
Okay,
I'll get into it
respond
with
to
you,
her
but I
and
want to
then-
respond to that
Sure.
first.
Okay.
I just wanted to ask more question clarification. When you say women should raise their standards, I agree about that. But do you think that it means if women are participating in hooking up culture at all, that means they immediately have low standards, or can you still participate in this hooking up culture that we have in UCSB and have higher standards for your hookups?
I think girls can participate if they would like that, but from experience and talking to a lot of girls, like my friends or around here, they don't actually like how it goes. That's just all that they're being offered, so they accept that. Mm-hmm. And I think if they stick to their requirements, that they would actually feel good about receiving from men, that would help dating in general. Yeah.
That's fair. I agree with that.
What was
Okay.
you wanted to go to war with Priya?
Well, close your legs. I know that some of us at this table are not virgins. We've had sex before. When you say close your legs, what are you referring to specifically?
Do not partake in hookup culture.
Okay. I personally don't judge people who partake in hookup culture. I don't really have time for it, so I don't really care to. But live your life. We're in college. We're young. Have your fun. This is literally the time. You're single. Clearly, the guys here don't really care for these good long-term relationships. At least I haven't found one that's interested in that. And if you want to fulfill yourself in a certain way, and maybe you are lowering your standards, but I think trying to get fulfillment for yourself isn't this thing that should be shamed, really.
I'm not trying to shame anybody personally, but to what she was saying, how men are not going to give her the time of day because she has standards for what she wants out of a romantic or sexual relationship. And if the next girl is about to give it up with no requirements whatsoever, they're always going to go for the second girl. Men want sex. They want sex. The relationship comes after. That's their innate primal desire is sex. And if you're going to give that to them, they're going to want to work.
But there's men now who don't partake in hookup culture, so it's if that's not your thing, then go find those men, because if we as a woman try to like lower how we like hookup culture and whatever, it still is never going to be 100%. So those men who want to find those easy women will still always be able to find that second option. So it's like, instead, like, just find someone who wouldn't partake in hookup culture anyways. Because if they are going to sleep with anyone given the option, just if you lower that option for them, they're still going to find a way to do it.
But if you significantly lower the amount that are in that pool that will like partake in the women that will partake in hookup culture, you're going to make it significantly more difficult for those men to find women to partake in it with them. So they're going to have to.
Yeah, but I'm saying though, like realistically though, it'll never be 100%. Will never even be probably over 80%. So it's like, instead, I don't think anyone should lower their standards. Like earlier when you're talking about like, oh, I keep getting disappointed from men, I'm going to lower my standards. No, don't do that. Keep making your standards higher, because there is going to be a man out there that fits those standards.
Absolutely.
But don't try to, if we all as women like try to, let's lower the standards. Like I do think that I do see why people say that, because I don't like how it's going where like spreading your legs is seen as a empowerment move. I don't like that, and I see how that's like combating it. But if you're a woman who likes hookup culture, be a part of that hookup culture and go for the, spew of men who do too. But yeah, don't think that you are empowering yourself by hooking.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
I see that point. But
yeah, we all have free bodily autonomy. We can do pretty much whatever we want. Yeah. It's a free country. But at the same time, I don't think it's something to glorify or to encourage. And like she was saying, how her friends that want to have high standards, but then give in to the pressure because they can't find men that want like serious relationships. I think that's also a product of that.
I don't disagree, but I think that since UCSB is known as a party school, don't you think it brings those type of men that are specifically looking for hookup and party culture as opposed to relationships? So it's kind of hard to say that this applies everywhere, that all men are wanting to engage in hookup culture. And because women are also engaging in hookup culture, you're like taking away like these possibly good men who might settle down in a relationship. I think it's hard to say that here in UC Santa Barbara, because the guys came here for that. So it's like we've got this environment of where most of the guys here are participating in hookup culture, and the women also came here to party, so we're also partaking in it. Like, so it's kind of hard to generalize based on our area, really. And that's kind of,
I feel like some other girls that do go to UCSB might want to rebuttal that. I mean, I don't, so I can't speak on it, but it seems like a few of you don't really want to partake in partying.
Most of these girls have only been here for 3 days. From my experience here, though, it is true. Like the majority, even like I didn't know it was a party school when I first came here, but like a lot of my friends who I met when I came here were like, yeah, like I heard about everything that I saw online, and like I knew it was going to be some party. I knew it was going to be easy access to certain things. So I would say, in like compared to a lot of four-year institutions, there is an influx of men like that here.
Sure, no, I know plenty of people that go to party schools for that, like for that reason. But
I mean, I feel like UCSB is definitely like more commonly known for hookup culture and for partying. So I feel like you kind of know what you're getting yourself into coming here. As like everyone that I've talked to and I've known, that's kind of like the common sense. Like UCSB is known for that. So I feel like definitely if you're looking for like your husband, I mean, maybe when you're like older, like I'm only a first year, so if you're like a third or fourth year, they're probably matured by then and you'll probably find like that guy. But I feel like first year, trying to find like the guy you're gonna get married to or like serious relationship is not the best to come here if you're trying to do that right off the bat.
I would say your odds are low. It happens. It happens, but there's just also so much in play when you're first moving here, like in a new area. There's so much going on, and even like I had a lot of friends who were on their third, fourth year, had met someone freshman year, started dating, lasted all those years, and then they still like each other, but they just broke up because they realized they had spent 4 years of college in a relationship and hadn't done anything. So it's like I would wait. You have the rest of your life to be in a relationship. Like you don't need to.
Sure, and I'm not saying that, especially like freshmen, juniors, or sophomores, there's no reason to jump into a relationship if you don't feel like you are mentally and like maturity level ready for that.
You're slipped off your feet.
Yeah, exactly.
Stay single.
Yeah, but I don't think it's a good thing to encourage young women to partake in hookup culture because you are not adding value to yourself whatsoever. I mean, again, like you have free bodily autonomy, you can do it whatever you please, but I don't think there's going to be any value added to your life by partaking in hookup culture.